Hey guys, so I thought I'd give y'all a little tour at the farm for April of 2020. So I probably should have y'all probably should have saw on what all this had looked like. The grass up here was super overgrown. Some of this area right here still looks like it's almost does look like it could use a mow, but this is about as good as it's gonna get. This was so tall, this had to be cut. This had to be mowed with one of the tractors. My uncle actually mowed all this with the Ford Golden Jubilee since it still had a brush hog attached to the back of it. And I mowed all of this on Friday with the lawn tractor. This yard is full of fire ants, and there's one of them right there. Unfortunately, I don't have any diatomaceous earth up here. Here's the front of the house. It looked like some dandelions have popped up. See, the grass was so tall, I actually had to mow it a lot higher than usual, because normally my grandfather always liked to have it a little bit shorter though. Every time whenever my grandfather would cut the grass. There's the house. This is one of the next things we got to do. We got to clean off the siding here. Here's my grandfather's truck. I actually got this out yesterday. My uncle and I had to jump start it because it sat for several months, and after putting it on the jumpers, it actually started right up. I drove it around for a little bit. It's actually my first time ever actually driving this truck. The paint's actually very dull just because it's very dirty. Next time I come up, I'm gonna give it a wash. But I can guarantee you'll never find an old Ford truck in such good condition like this. This truck only has 39,000 miles. From what I saw on the odometer. Yes, that is right. This truck, it's a 1991 Ford F-150, only 39,000 miles. It's just because my grandfather, he hardly drove this thing. For the 29 years that he had it, for 28 years from when he was still alive. But ever since his passing, it just sits. But it is still still insured. to actually take it out on the road. So that's kind of what I've been doing every time now whenever I come up here, just to run it and drive it around for a little bit. So there's the Ford Golden Jubilee. So this is where it's at. So this is its new spot. And of course the golf cart, still in its sad state, which it's going to stay like this for a while. So in order to get the tractors out, you would have to get them out from the back door, and as you can see, the lawn tractors are over in the very back behind the Farmall H. Yep, as you see, they're right there. And as you see, I've got the belt covers back on the John Deere D140. And here's the Farmall H. My uncle had this thing running yesterday for a little bit. Yeah. And I also had this tractor running just a little bit as well, as y'all saw from that little quick video of me starting it up. I let this tractor sit here and run for about maybe 15 or 20 minutes because I knew it hadn't been started in such a long time. And there's my grandfather's pressure washer. This is actually my grandfather's. It's not mine. So yeah. See, and I even brought some of my equipments. See here, I brought my Steel FS91R, this BG86 leaf blower, and then my dad's Echo SRM 2400 SB. My dad did a lot of trimming on it, as you can see. I think he ended up going through 2 full tanks of gas, at least. Because right now, there's actually no gas in it. And my FS91R, it's about a quarter of the way left. I'm pretty impressed with the power of this trimmer. And my grandmother's new trimmer mower, Pull & Pro. I even used it a little bit as well. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Works just as well, maybe if not better than that older Craftsman one. And as you can see, it's not here. My uncle actually took it. Because my uncle and his wife have a property in further down south. So he's going to actually bring it over there and maybe fix it up just to use for down there. Quick look at the tractors. Cub. Farmall A. Farmall Super C. There's my tractor, the Farmall F20. Just hidden right there is the MTD Silver Edition lawn tractor. I think that's the model number right down here. My iPad can focus on that. Hold on 1 minute. On that. This is my great-grandfather's tractor, 1947 Farmall M. Then here's a 1953 John Deere G. And this did not come from the factory. It was originally gas. Well, because back then propane was so cheap that farmers were converting their farm equipment from gas to propane. I'm assuming that old tank probably holds maybe roughly 40 to 50 gallons of propane. That's just my guess. It had a propane tank, and then after he had passed away, my grandfather had restored it and pulled the propane tank off of it and found a gas tank and converted it back to gas and restored it back into its original condition in the way that it is now. I do need to see about getting this thing running. And then I can tell you right now, this battery is dead. Because the last time I was here, I even tried to crank it, and it's not going to do anything, as you see. Because that battery on there is at least maybe 18 or 19 years old. So here on the F20, to run sometime this year. I just need to empty out the gas tank, need to put some coolant into the radiator, and I also need to air up the rear tires because they do look a bit low. They don't really look that low. Because I think that the previous owner that had this tractor had put some new tires on it. So these tires don't really have that much use on them. So they're obviously in great shape. They just need some air in them. But other than that, hopefully get it running, and then I would have to get this tractor running in order for me to get this tractor out. And let's see, not long after that very last time that I was up here, when my grandfather was still alive, he actually added this awning right here, right in front of the barn, because it used to not be there, which is actually perfect to actually park either a car or, in this case, a tractor just right in front of it, just to keep them out of the elements. Just take a look out here. Yeah, all this was cut with the brush hog on the tractor. probably at this point, we can just keep this all mowed down with one of the lawn tractors. I do need to cut all of this grass that's grown around the plow and also the propane tanks and also even this tractor right here. I think this is a Farmall M. It's a newer model. It used to run, but my grandfather has now since used it for parts, so it's pretty much a parts tractor. It's pretty much, yeah, there's a lot of things that's not on it, including the tire, and it looks like, yeah, there's no coil on it as well, because it's got a distributor system on it instead of a magneto. I'm going to say that this M is a 51 model, which would be the last year of the M's before they got replaced by the Super M's. And even cut all this tall grass too. Oh, there's another fire ant mound. Just got to be careful. Even when you're up here, when walking into some of this tall grass, you got to really be careful. You got to watch out for snakes. Primarily, possibly rattlesnakes or even cottonmouths or even copperheads. See, yesterday when myself, my mother, and my grandmother were kind of cleaning out all of this puddle right here, my mother had actually noticed some tadpoles in them, and as well as some frogs. And actually, there's one right there. I must have scared it off. It must have saw me. It was actually, there was one just right there. It stuck its head out. It actually stuck its head out the water like, almost like an alligator. I'm assuming that these are bullfrogs. Really cool. I kind of find this to be a really nice shaded area. Even though my grandmother had even talked about even possibly cutting down some of these trees, but I don't know. I actually like them the way it is. I actually like this area. It's a nice shaded spot. So I think that's going to do it. Whoop, I almost twisted my ankle there. I think that's just going to do it for this little tour here. So I'll probably be back up here in a couple of weeks, because I'm sure that the grass up here is going to need mowing again. And hopefully by then it'll look a lot better than what it is now, just because it was so tall. My uncle was gonna try to get over there, but the problem was it was so wet that my uncle probably would have gotten the tractor stuck in the mud. All right, so that's gonna do it. I think I'm gonna head in because it does looks like it might rain, or maybe not. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed this little tour video. And so, thanks for watching.